So, recalling our mission for a season of love, I a few weeks ago asked you all to join me. Oh, I guess we're starting week 4. So, a few weeks ago, I asked you to all join me in preparing ourselves to be better lovers of all beings and better lovers of the whole world for 2025 and beyond 2025, hopefully far, far beyond. And while I used that language of learning to be a better lover, to be better at it, as we've practiced together, what I think is a more accurate way to say this is that we're all learning how to be love in the world. Um, we started that in these last 3 weeks with learning how to be loved. So we're learning how to be love in the world and starting out with the first step of allowing ourselves to be loved. So our guide for this practice has been this poem fragment from Steve Garnis Holmes that says, "In troubled times, it takes great concentration to align ourselves with grace instead of force, with love instead of fear. We begin by allowing ourselves to be loved along with all the rest of creation. And then we fall into that love and let that love flow through us into the world. In troubled times, it takes great concentration." So right now, I am really struggling with concentration. I recently started a new treatment, and two of the side effects, one of them is exhaustion, and the other is brain fog. And when I'm in that space, it takes so much work just to track from one thought or idea to the next thought or idea. I even pondered deeply whether to do this practice tonight because I was having so much trouble earlier in the afternoon that I wasn't sure I could find my way through the practice. Um, so just putting my talk together tonight, and it's a short one, took me 2 or 3 times as long as it would usually take. And many of you know that a lot of times I just show up and let love take us where love will. Um, but I realize that the thing about concentration is that once I've practiced something enough times, concentration isn't really an issue anymore because of that the thing that I practiced over and over and over and over again then becomes automatic. It's a habit. And of course, that's why we practice anything, is so that we will get good at it. And when we need it, it's right there. So no matter how foggy my brain gets or is, um, I still remember how to brush my teeth. I still remember how to clean the kitchen and that I need to clean the kitchen. I remember to shut lights out when I leave a room. Our passage says it takes great concentration to align ourselves with grace instead of force, to align ourselves with love instead of fear. And in order for us to live in alignment with grace and love for the rest of our lives, not just for 2025 and whatever that has for us, we practice love now. So we don't wait for things to get worse or to be in full on crisis mode. We practice every day aligning ourselves with love. We practice every day toward being love in the world. And I've noticed as I've begun practicing this, how many times I fail at being love in the world. It's become more and more noticeable as I practiced more and more being loved and then thinking about loving. So I want for me to be loving and to be love in the world. I want that to become as natural to me as brushing my teeth or shutting out a light. I have no doubt that what the world needs is love. That's the first task. And so we practice that together. I invite us all to take a breath together. And as you let it out, just allow your eyes to close. And then take another breath. And as you let that one out, become aware of the presence of air all around you. And notice how that air is flowing into your lungs and into your body. And now one more breath in. And this time, as you draw it in, recognize that love is surrounding you just exactly the way air is surrounding you. And letting that breath out begin to relax into this space of love. Recognizing that love is just as common as air, just as ubiquitous. There hasn't been one single moment in all of your life when it hasn't been available to you. If you find your mind questioning that or wondering about that, that's fine. But see if for the duration of this practice, you can just set that aside and practice as if love is that close. Love is that available. So I invite you now to drop into your own immediate experience. And this simply means to notice what it is that is present here for you right now. Any of your senses, sight, sound, taste, touch, hearing, anything you notice in your mind, inside your being. Simply notice your experience and then name it silently to yourself. And then become aware of the next experience. This naming our own experience is our first step in becoming deeply aware of our own presence, what it's like to be here now. And we deepen that by turning to our body. And we're just going to give our attention to each part of our body, beginning with our feet. And imagining that our feet are receiving, that love is flowing in to our feet. It's not necessary to imagine where this love is flowing from. Simply accepting that love is and that it's entering you. Allowing love to flow into your lower legs and your knees. Your upper legs and your hips. Letting love flow into and fill your pelvis and your belly. All the organs of the belly. Letting love flow into your chest, filling your lungs, filling your beating heart. Letting love flow into your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. Now letting love flow into your back, beginning with your tailbone. Just letting the love flow up your spine and include all the muscles, all the ribs. Flowing into your scapula, your neck, and your scalp. And now letting love come to rest on your face. And then noticing your whole physical being, your body, filled with love. And feel what it's like for your body to be here now. This is your presence. Now remaining grounded in your body, continuing to feel your physical self. Begin to include awareness of your inner being, beginning with your heart. our emotional center, our feeling organ, wherever that's located in your body. Imagining love flowing into your heart and filling it. And simply notice what happens. And see if you can notice without judgment, not having any expectations of what will happen if love flows in. And now we're going to allow love to enter our spirit. And I like to think of spirit as the part of our being that is aliveness, flow, energy. That ethereal part of ourselves that we can't always put a finger on. Letting love enter there. And again, simply noticing what happens. And now bringing your attention to your mind. And see if you can imagine that your mind isn't just this grapefruit-sized thing inside your head. It's something bigger that expands out into space, out into the world. It has room for lots and lots of thoughts and room for love. Just seeing what happens if your mind is larger than your head and also filled with love. Now we're going to check in again with our full being, noticing ourselves as body filled with love, heart filled with love, spirit filled with love, and mind filled with love. Now letting all those things coalesce into this one being that is you. So feeling your entire self full of love. Noticing what that's like. You may notice that in some way it actually feels completely natural. You may recognize this feeling because it's our original state before we became separated from love. Now Letting this being that is you, this beingness that is you, extend out beyond your body to fill the room that you're in. And then letting it extend even further out onto the land upon which you're situated, the city, the state, the country you're in. Include the land and the creatures, the sky, the trees, the water. And let it extend until you've taken in the whole world, recognizing yourself as one part of this whole. And now imagining or recognizing the truth that it is all filled with love. If you can in some way allow yourself to meld with, to be completely connected to all that is love. Now feel the way that the earth is drawing you into itself. The way love, the way the earth is holding you. First through the force of gravity, and also through the power of love. And when you recognize that you are held, you can let yourself relax. You can recognize that you don't have to hold yourself, that you aren't doing the work, you never have done the work. You can let the earth hold you. You can let love hold you. Now bringing your awareness to your breath, staying with the sense of holding, staying in your full being, letting your whole being experience your breath. And particularly noticing the complete ease with which air flows into your body and flows back out again. Look how it takes no concentration at all on our parts to be in this natural flow of receiving air and letting it go. and imagining and letting it be true that it is the same with love. That just as we are loved, just as we are in love and held by love, we also naturally love. Just allow yourself to let go of any need to keep paying attention to any instruction. Just allow yourself to remain in that flow, giving yourself over to love, trusting the flow of love. If at any time your mind wanders, simply trust your breath, turning to that sense of receiving and letting go. Thank you so much for practicing with me and supporting my own practice. I love you all.